Well, we are live for the Jedi Mind Hack of the Day. And we're just waiting. Oh, we were live on YouTube as well. We're telling your followers. Okay, it looks like we're streaming. Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you for this Jedi Mind Hack of the Day. I'm Jessica Ahlstrom, and I have been doing my best to get on here every day and give you a Jedi Mind Hack to help your life flow in the direction of your dreams. And that's kind of the concept of today. This is my best Freddy Krueger impression without shopping. Things I just kind of found because it goes perfectly in alignment with what I'm going to share with you guys today. Hi guys, good to see you. Hello. There you are. Okay, I don't see anybody YouTube yet, but we'll be streaming there. All right, so guys, forgive me if I cannot see the questions or anything that you say. I'm still getting used to this Instagram live thing, but I want to deliver the message and not waste a bunch of your time. And today we're going to be talking about the dream state. Okay, so as a Jedi Master, one of the things that you're going to understand is that this is all a dream. Okay. Everything that you are experiencing right now is a dream within a dream within a dream within a dream. Interesting in the movie, right? With Freddy Krueger, I can't remember the name right now, but somebody will put it in there. And the reason why I'm dressed as Freddy Krueger because that was my childhood nemesis. Okay, and so a babysitter that I had showed me this movie, Nightmare on Elm Street. That's it. And probably when I was 5 or 6, and for the next 2 years, I literally had raging night fears because I already had a problem sleeping. And then it was this idea don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep because you could die in your dream. All right. Well, let's look at what we're doing here. It's kind of the opposite when you're in the Matrix. It's like, wake up, wake up, wake up, right? So you don't die asleep. So you don't get stuck here and incarnate in the Matrix again. So the idea in this particular dream is that you awaken in the dream and then you lucidly act out your highest joy regardless of what's going on in the dream. And any of you guys that are lucid dreaming or you're astral traveling, you're able to go in different realms and navigate your own dream spaces, and you can change and reorganize your dream spaces. And so that is a great place for you to play if you really want to master the secondary dream state. But when you're working on reality creation and you're discovering and creating your ultimate self-concept, which is the you that you choose to be, not the you that you have to be, okay? Not the you that you've been trained to be, not the you that you believe you are with this, but the real you. All right. In order for you to manifest and animate that version of you, it is going to take hella focus, okay? And not just when you're in your awakened hours, because we talked a little bit in a couple of lives ago about brainwaves, right? And so this is going to be like a 2-part Jedi Mind Hack. Number 1 is, who do you fall asleep as? That's a good question. A lot of the times, especially if you are living from mind and not heart, you're going to have your cortisol levels completely in the wrong direction, which means you're going to wake up exhausted and you're going to try to go to sleep with a racing mind. That's your first evidence that your cortisol balances are screwed. Okay. What is great is if we can flip that, which means we wake up with cortisol and we go to sleep in this restful space where the mind isn't acting crazy. So if that is what's happening to you, you want to get your brainwaves changed before you go into a sleep state. Because who you fall asleep as is basically where you're going to go when you leave this dream and you go to another dream. Okay? Because your spirit never sleeps, ever. You're just going from dream to dream and you're having these different experiences. And then your body is resting because your body is a biological material and it has to rest because it's mortal, but you are not. So your body is sitting there sleeping. You're like, well, we're going to go over here. But who you fall asleep as actually determines where you're going to go. So let's say you have a racing mind and now you're playing, like peeing your pants in the fourth grade or whatever, thoughts come at the end of the night that are just like racing, or all the things that you didn't do that week, or, replaying arguments and things like that. You're going to go to sleep in a vibration and an emotion, in a feeling and a brainwave. And that is going to put you into, right, the lower realms of the next dream. So if you go to sleep in fear, anger, confusion, bitterness, resentment, right, worried, stressed out, irritated, exhausted, but not from like sleep, but just like your soul is tired, then what's going to happen is you're going to have to go and start your exploration through what we call the ghetto of the astral realm, which means that there are different levels of the astral that you pass through before you go into your next journey in your sleep state. Okay. And so if you go to sleep irritated, angry, or, just so much on your mind, and you want to think about more less than the thought, but like, who are you going to sleep as? Are you going to sleep as like the creator of your reality? Are you going to sleep as someone who doesn't get their way, or doesn't feel seen and heard, or, doesn't understand why so-and-so did something? Because that's the character that you fall asleep in. And that is the character that will pass through. And there is a lot of seedy behavior that happens in the lower astral, because as we've been kind of talking about the disembodied spirits that play and animate through you when you are in lower vibrations in this physical plane, there is also disembodied spirits in the lower astral plane. Okay. And so it's almost like the ghetto, the graveyard, the ghetto, the graveyard, the ghetto, graveyard. But if you go to sleep in a high vibe, gratitude, right? Like celebration, our favorite frequency. You go grateful or just like happy or joyful. And I'll give you a couple of my tricks to hack. Like, no matter how you're feeling, you adjust your brain waves, you adjust your mood, you adjust your character before you fall asleep. Because what is happening in the other realms does affect your ability here, because it's still you. And you could be having multiple experiences. You could be getting parts of you stuck, right? You could be dealing with Freddy Krueger in the lower astral realm, because I'm going to tell you, all horror movies are channeled. So everything that you could imagine or that someone has written about is real on some level or dimension, because that's how it works. And then because it's created from someone's imagination of the fourth dimension, and then a bunch of people watch it and give energy and attention to it, and fear maybe, or pleasure, then it starts to animate it and make it real. Okay. So literally, if you were afraid enough, okay, of like, say, a Freddy Krueger movie, you could manifest dying in your sleep. Real, because you are creator. And what you give energy to, remember, there's no in the universe. So even a no is a yes in the universe, because there's only abundance and there's only prosperity. So when you're in lack, you're in a lack of prosperity. You're in prosperity of lack. you're in abundance of lack. So you're never, ever, ever able to choose like no. It's always yes. And what are you looking at? What are you focused on? Who are you being? What are you presenting to the world? And who are you falling asleep as? So you always want to fall asleep as your desired ultimate avatar. Okay? You want to fall asleep as the wish fulfilled of your greatest image of yourself. Now, when you're looking at like a vision board, that's great. But what will actually get your subconscious, which is your divine feminine, of the idea of the subconscious mind is feminine and the conscious mind is masculine, right? And when you're working with the subconscious mind, although she is recording everything, it takes a lot for her to change her mind, just like a woman. And she's holding on to every story that's ever been, just like a woman. And in order for her to get turned on, she has to loosen up, and she has to feel safe, and she has to be in that relaxed state. And so there are a few minutes, between 5 and like 12 minutes of you passing through this sleep state, that your subconscious mind completely opens and says, okay, I'm open. Let's download some new information. And let's say you're super triggered and you're angry and you're pissed off. And so she will scoop that data in and download it as if it is your desired character right before you fall asleep. And then because you're in that vibration and your body is settling down into, working on getting into those REM states, the vibration of that moving into that sleep state is going to put you into a lower vibration in the next round. Okay. And so then who you wake up as is equally as important. So let's say you wake up and you've been in the ghetto all night, right? And passing through and getting stuck and, getting cords put on you and all kinds of stuff. And you come back through and you wake up and you don't feel happy. Well, you have that 5 to 12 minute window again where she is still in that receiving space where you could download your desired character first thing in the morning as well. So you never want to go to sleep not method acting your desired character. And when you wake up, notice what character you wake up in. Notice if you wake up in a bad mood or a good mood. Notice if you have any dreams, write it down, because the more medication you are in the physical world, or the more overstimulated you are in the physical world, or the more you are repressing your own emotions in the physical world, the more that the subconscious is going to need to communicate to you through dreams. Because she's trying to tell you what is going on behind the veil, what is going on below the surface, subconscious, and she is going to get your attention through a feeling state of maybe a dream that makes no sense. Makes sense when you're there, of course, but when you come back, you're like, really? And so there's a couple of tools that we can utilize here to master the Jedi, master vibe in all the different segments of our day, even in the sleep. So we want to go to sleep in the wish fulfilled, in the self-concept of our true desire. And how I do that is I put together a little almost like a carousel of pictures. So this would be like a vision board, but let's say on your vision board is your dream house. Let me give you a hack. Okay. And you can do this with most smartphones. You want to put a picture of yourself in the picture of that house. So let's say it's like a big, beautiful compound or something, and you want to cut and paste yourself and put it in the image, right? And then you're going to add music to it. Because the music will take you on an emotional journey. It will give hormonal expression to the pictures. And because they're moving, it gives your subconscious this idea of kind of being romanced. And if you're in the picture, she will see the house, she will see you, and she will say, that's your house. So you want to put yourself in your vision board pictures, all of them. And then you want to, like the last 5 minutes before you fall asleep, put some headphones on and just stream your carousel maybe 3 times to 5 times and let that download. So you're falling asleep with that motion picture vision board with music. So you're not trying to who do I want to be? And I'm too angry. You're just literally letting it go. You're getting your brain into theta, which is imagination, which is downloadable, the sponge-like energy. And you're taking that in so you don't end up in the ghetto of the astral realm. You'll start in the sleep in a higher realm where you can do way more awesome stuff when you're not in this physical story. Because like I said, what happens there is going to bleed into here. And I have had to fix some damage that happens in those realms that then start to manifest in this realm. So there's a way that you can be responsible. And what that word means is to respond to you, right? Pay attention. So now who you wake up as, what character you wake up as is oh no, not the Matrix again, like Groundhog Day. Okay, well, recognize that, record that. I woke up in a funk, irritated, didn't want to be here. Great. Okay, I'm going to work on that today. Now, let's see if there was any dreams. Did I dream about anything? Okay, what was in the dream? Because everything in the dream is a clue for you. Now, the cool thing about dreams is, let's say, you fall asleep driving, which used to be one of mine, or all of a sudden, you're blind and you're like walking down a street, or you're like walking in cement. Okay, so whatever these recurring dreams that we have, it's all important. So then you're going to just jot what you can remember about the dream, and then you're going to go and look it up in the Dreamscape dictionary. Just Google it, because you represent you in the dream. So you represent the car in the dream. You represent falling asleep in the dream. You represent the driver in the dream. Let's say there's other people in the dream. You represent them. So you are playing every part in all of your dream. So it's never like, oh, I dreamed about you and you cheated on me. Okay. It's more about, you were there, but I cheated on myself. So what am I cheating myself out of right now? This is like high level personal responsibility, but dreams are actually you in all the different parts. And so what you can do is you can look up what like maybe falling asleep means, but then you can go, oh, I'm falling asleep, or I'm dropping the ball, or I'm, moving slowly, or I'm being rebirthed, or whatever, because the dream space dictionary will say everything. And again, I'm not going to go too deeply into it, because you don't need to have like an education. Remember, our quantum toolbox, we need to know a little bit about a lot of things to help us move into the Jedi, okay? And so if you can look that up now, if you have no dreams that you can recall, that's fine. But you do not want to get out of that bed in a bad mood, because your avatar, this body, is constantly looking to you, the observer, to say, who am I? And if you begin your day in a funk, not wanting to be here, or dreading your day, or hating your job, then your entire day, your avatar is going to demonstrate that for you. So you want to shake it off, right? You want to ground, you want to rebalance. Maybe you listen to your song again and you look at your little your vision board again, and you go, okay, this is who I choose to be. Because you guys, if you're really going to be a Jedi Master, you cannot operate in who the world makes you be. You have to manually choose who you're going to be here. If you are just a byproduct of the energy around you and what's going on in the system, you're never going to feel great all the time unless you manually override the avatar vibration that is being pushed at you and you step in. So one of the ways that you can step in is you can ask your inner child in the morning before you get out of bed, okay, what's today our power color? What day would bring us what color would bring us the most joy? And you do not let yourself out of that bed, because you have this 12-minute window of creating. And what vibration you create in those 12 minutes is going to be more efficient and effective than hours of meditation throughout the day, because you're in the sweet spot. All right. Don't believe me? Go binge watch Joe Dispenza's videos, or anyone else who teaches epigenetics and reality creation. Okay. You have a sweet spot. Neville Goddard, right? Great teachers who are saying the same thing. But what we're doing is trying to work on hacking all parts of our day, so that we're not like really working hard to change our life in our meditation and then just slacking off with our focus the rest of the day. We want to be focused, intentional creators, which means that a lot of the time you're going to have to manually override who you're being, okay? Because your mood is your reality generator. Okay, so in the scripture, when at the metaphysical version of the scripture, when they're talking about communion and they're talking about the bread and the wine, they're talking about thoughts and emotions create a mood, right? What happens when you drink wine? You get in a mood. So if you wake up in a bad mood, that's okay. Who knows where you were, right? And maybe there's some subconscious work that you can do by doing your little dream diagram or your breakdown, and you study that at some other point. But then you say, okay, I'm going to brush off the feeling that I woke up in, and I am going to choose the avatar. And then I'm going to method act it by kind of listening to a music, or I'm going to study this, or I'm just going to hype myself up, or I'm going to pick a power color. I'm going to dress for the job I want. I'm going to bring out my inner child. And then you begin your day. And you will see that it will be difficult in the beginning, but then when you wake up, your body will kind of be like, okay, who are we? And then you'll be like, this is who we are. But until you can command your own being, no matter how smart you think you are, you will be a byproduct of the matrix because they are in control of your mood, of what happens to you, and you have to work and you have to do this, and you're here to break the chains and create your own reality. Okay, so your morning sweet spot and your evening sweet spot are hella important because it's not like Freddy Krueger where you're gonna die in the dream. Okay, you want to wake up in the dream. And the more that you are choosing your mood, let's say you're in a crap mood, okay, but you know that that is just tanking your vibration and it is lining you up with people, places, and things that are just going to hold you back. So you shake it off, right? You can use sound, you can use light, you can use color, you can motion to zap yourself out of that. You can also snap on your left side to snap you out of hypnosis of the matrix, right? You are under hypnosis if you're feeling bad, ever, child of God. You can snap yourself out of hypnosis and you can say, who do I choose to be? And yeah, it might be a little difficult, but you realize you are an actor and you are the editor, director, producer. And so because you're acting how the matrix wants you to act, all you have to do is become the actor of your own story, your own script. And no, it might not be physically true manifested yet, but if you ever want it to be physically true, you have to embody it, act it, produce it, edit it, fine tune it, focus on it consistently in a disciplined manner, and then it will be. Because remember, we go from steam to water to ice. And when it becomes ice, that becomes the new character, and that will manifest all the people, places, and things that go perfectly with the new avatar. But it is going to take your deliberate focus and your deliberate inner work to examine what is going on in the dream state if you're not paying attention during the day. That's when your dreams get really loud, was when you are not paying attention to your feelings during the day, your dreams will be loud, okay? And who you wake up as is not as important, but the emotion that you wake up in, you want to look at that like, I keep waking up in a bad mood, or I keep waking up feeling like this, and then you want to look at, is this how I'm actually feeling, but I'm not accepting it. Okay. And then your sweet spot. So your vision board, the way that you're going to sync it into your hard drive or your subconscious mind is if it has you in the picture, if it has movement, and if it has music, it is going to download probably 150 times faster into your subconscious than just looking at a picture of a house that your subconscious is like, that's nice, but you'll never have that. Now think about movies, okay? How many movies still have your attention because of the music and the soundtrack and the cinematography and the connection with the characters that you couldn't let go, kind of like with me with Nightmare on Elm Street, like I couldn't let it go, and so it haunted me. But we don't want our vision boards to haunt us in a bad way, but we do want them to romance us and to put us into a vibe where we could be like, yes, because you do not need to believe in anything that you're building here. Only your subconscious mind does. As soon as your subconscious mind buys in, invests in your new story, well, then you build form out of energy. And now you're living the dream instead of the nightmare. So the whole point of the Jedi Master is to dream a dream bigger than the nightmare. Okay? So that's all I have for you guys today, and I hope you had a great Halloween. Those of you who were in the webinar last night, so much fun. We went all the way down into the dark, and we studied the dark spirit world, the agenda of that, the concept of that, the origin of that, and then how we actually can unhook and use that to manifest positively through unconditional love. And again, now it is archived. So if you guys missed it, but you were like, I really want to be there, go register. You can have it. You own it. You can watch it anytime. It's not going to be live, but we are going to do a part 2 at some point, and we're also going to flip the scale, and we're going to be studying the whole spirit world of light, because it's It's a way bigger army, and it has way more tools than you're using. There is way more help than you're actually accessing right now. And what's going on in the dark isn't at all what is compared to going on in the light. So, knowing the opposition, knowing the game, knowing your potentials, knowing your own limits, so you can change the game and you can edit your script and you can take command of this ship and change the avatar to fit your heart's desire. All right. You are not stuck. You are just not utilizing your time, space in the best possible way if you're not using your morning and your night dips. Okay. And if you guys are interested in learning like lucid dreaming, things like that, reach out to me in the DMs and I will give you some resources. I don't teach a bunch about it, but it is a good tool to have if you are curious. I'm more concerned with who you are in this world, because this is the one that's affecting, you right now. And this is the one that is once we want to be really focused on, because this is the world of form. And so things are way more mutable and transitionable and transfinable out there than here, because we have time and space to deal with here. So let's master being the Jedi here. But again, who you are there has a lot to do with who you are here. Okay. But you're going to have to manually override this. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the nightmare. That's all I have for you today. I will see you soon, guys. Thanks for joining me. End. Bye for now.